In the fictional world of 2012, the world is allegedly come to an end at the hands of a human-made virus, ravaging the global populace and leaving only children under the age of 13 untouched by it. But that is proven a lie because the vampires emerge from the emptiness of the earth, likely followed by an age-old horrors of the dark thought only to be a myth. The vampires sweep the earth and claim it as a single violent stroke. And that is when this so-called protection of the vampires comes at the price of donating blood to their captors. Those poor humans. However, there is a boy by the name of Yuichiro, or better yet known as Yu Hyakuya, who witnessed the death of his family, and he swears revenge. But I'm not going into any detail about that or any spoilers, but Mika, who had plotted this escape, is now a vampire himself, as he almost died from the bloodlust. So, yeah. This freaking anime that I'm watching, it sounds so similar to another anime, doesn't it? What if I told you that there are theories, or even more than just one theory, that surrounds this anime? Yep. Have a good time with this. Seraph of the End is a lot like Attack on Titan. Okay. This is gonna get a lot of hate from other people who are fans of this series, but Attack on Titan and Seraph of the End are similar to one another. There's vampires and titans aside that attack humans, but that's not it. Not just the vampires, there's also horsemen of John. Okay, most of the characters have been compared to similar ones in Attack on Titan, especially Yu to Eren. Both are hot-blooded with a goal of killing all the monsters who killed someone dear to them when they were children. Shiho Kimizuki to Jean Kirstein. Those two, both of them, start as jerkasses who the protagonists despise, but are later revealed to have hidden depths and become fire-forged friends with the protagonist. And there is Colonel Gurren to Commander Irvin. Both Colonel badasses who have their own goals independent of the main military branch, but both have some pretty dark pasts. It helps that both series that share similar beginnings, the same animation studio, and the same soundtrack composer. However, whether this is interpreted as similar but still unique and good in its own way, or a blatant ripoff, depends on the viewer. But remember, these two are different because the monsters are the horsemen of John. The vamps, the titans, they are both in each of these animes that you see, okay? There is nothing similar. They are different because of the monsters. Even though they are similar, but they are freaking different. Remember that. There is nothing between them. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. No hablo relations or ripoffs. Okay? Okay. Let's move on. Shall we? You and Kimizuki are bi. Okay. There are some hints that they could be. While Yuichiro and Kimizuki are attractive to girls, possibly, but they could be attractive to guys too. Yuichiro constantly mentions of Mika, and he also can't go a single chapter without mentioning how he was going to save Mika from the vampire. Oh my god, there is literally tons of examples of this obsession of rescuing, being with each other, to the point where other characters such as Ferret, who is the freaking killer, even comments on it. Yu immediately begins to shed his antisocial demeanor after seeing Mika is alive and well, where Shinoa even states that after that moment, his reason to live had changed. And also, Mika is seemingly obsessed with saving Yuichiro, and how he gets upset if anybody like has anything to do with Hyakuya. And also anytime Mika would see you to be in hurt or anyone trying to carry him or whatever, Mika would get upset and be like, "Don't you dare touch your filthy hands on him." Yeah. And also Kimizuki sometimes blushes around you. Like during that time where you comment saying, "So you know how to drive a car? I guess you are pretty cool." And then Kimizuki is like blushing and he says, disregarding his comment, saying, "You know, you're like the little brother I never wanted." Also, Yoichi and Kimizuki might have a moment in one of the episodes and chapters. Hey, it's funny, but yet it's a yaoi fangirl's dream come true. Even Kimizuki can switch both ways. Anyway, moving on. Mika is gay? That explains it, right? Okay, Michaela, or Mika, as you would call him, has an obsession with Yuichiro. Full stop. Or non-stop. He tears off a nobleman's arm, or maybe a noble vampire's arm, for trying to drink his blood. Nearly makes off with him in a bridal carry in chapter 13 and has convinced himself that human allies are just using him in order to justify his taking him back. Yeah, and there's also, he seems to get jealous of Shinoa in generally, especially when she gets you in a cool down hug type. And also, both openings of the anime show the two touching foreheads with their hands cupping each other's cheeks. Yeah. Even in episode 3, a vision of Mika hugs Yu from behind and caresses his face. At the end of episode 12, Yu and Mika look up at the moon, thinking of each other while miles apart. Yu places his forehead against the glass window where an image of Mika's reflection is seen in the same position. Then, with a determined look in their eyes, they mutually declare to save each other. Wow. So it could be, but also it's undetermined. It could be Mika's lust for Yu's blood. It's crazy. Yoichi is gay. You remember this cute-eyed teddy bear-like guy, but he can also take a level in badass too. He doesn't seem attractive to other girls, but I could be wrong. Yoichi acts very friendly around Yu, glomps him in the manga, and waiting by his bedside for him to wake up from passing out, implying that he was watching him all this time, and he gets very blushy around him. In episode 2 dub of the anime, when asked who Yoichi was, Shinoa's answer was, "A friend of his, or a lover." This occurs when Shinoa is observed with others as Yoichi lays on top of Yu in between his legs after glomping him and shaking as he is crying while holding on to him. Ooh, well, from Shinoa's and others' angle, it looks very suggestive. Yu even gets a moment where he acts very concerned about Yoichi's well-being when they are in battle and strives to save him from danger occasionally. Isn't that a little bit too crazy, don't you think? Okay, this is gonna get a lot of surprising detail, but here are some other theories I have. It's possible that Yu and Mika have the undertones of a yaoi version of Romeo and Juliet. I am not kidding. I mean, these two have been distant apart from each other, two different sides of the same coin of their world. However, Yu and Mika are determined to protect each other. You could say it could be like a friendship story, but it also has a little bit of possible romantic undertones, but we're not really sure. And it's also possible Yu and Mika are angels. Like in the Revelation, it talks about a seraphim angel type. And they both supported wings in the Seraph of the End form. Well, for Yu's case, but Mika, we're not so sure. You forget, Mika refers to himself as a despicable bloodsucker. Poor guy. Anyway, also, you know how I mentioned Wicked, the musical, in Fairy Tale? Well, I'm gonna refer to it in Seraph of the End too. You know why? You wanna know why? Why? Because it's possible maybe you and Mika are pretty much similar to Elphaba and Glinda. Isn't that weird though? Think about it. You and Elphaba start off pretty dark and grim, but also they become optimistic. However, they also have a bit of a dark side to them. Mika, on the other hand, is similar to Glinda in some way. I mean, Mika starts off as optimistic and positive, but also he becomes pretty cynical. I mean, Glinda may not be cynical and dark, but she starts off as just a ditzy, happy person, but now she matures and is much more wiser. So it's kind of similar. And also the interactions Elphaba and Glinda have are similar to you and Mika. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, that's it for now. So stay tuned, and if you want to look up more on my theories, be sure to go to my Quotave account and check out the stuff I post. You'll be surprised what I have on here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.